years of hard work in an industry in which, for my own part, I never imagined I would really ever be in. And it came about by a stroke of fate. I had lived in New York all my young life and decided to take my 3 children and move to Williamstown, Massachusetts, in the beautiful Berkshire Mountain country. And a racetrack was being built a few miles from where I lived. And before I knew it, I was in a business that I knew nothing about, had no interest in, had really no feeling for, and yet I really became part of it and contributed as much as I really had to contribute to it, and ended up being very successful and enjoying it. Many people said to me, "What's a nice Jewish girl like you doing in a place like this?" But what we made of those places was show places, and places that people of all colors and background and intelligence and non-intelligence just came together and really enjoyed. And I felt, wow, they're enjoying it because I'm giving something to this, and I'm giving something to them. And that's really what life is all about, is giving of yourself to try to make other people happy and to give them something in their lives that they didn't have before. So I think Vin was my boss. He was always Mr. Bartimo to me all the years that we were in business together. We've become inseparable friends over these years, and he's a major part of my life and my children's lives. And all of this happened really as a stroke of fate. God was looking down and said, "You know what, Roz? You're a pretty good kid, and I'm going to give you some pleasure in your life." And I really have had a life that's been filled with pleasure, and much of it is because of my relationship with Vin Bartimo. And he opened the door for me. Somebody has to open the door. And in my life, he opened the door to a profession that I never would have dreamed I would end up in, and gave me a friend that has lasted for over 45 years, and a major part of my life and my children's lives. And so I have a great deal to be grateful for. As far as the racing business is concerned and all the different sports that we were involved in, I think that if you have the will, and somebody's watching over you and saying, "You can do it, you can do it, you can do it," that you can get into any kind of business and be a success. And I would never dream that I would end up in professional sports, and yet I gave of myself to everything that I did through the years that I was in professional sports, and ended up being very successful, and giving a lot of other people an opportunity to make a good living. And I just hired people not because they had the experience in that particular field, but they had the will to learn and the will to give of themselves to it. And I think that that's really what life is all about. And I know that I've been asked about the fact that I was Jewish, and yet I have St. Teresa in my life. I pray to her every day, and I feel that she has watched over my life. I was unfortunate in that I lost my parents when I was in my early 20s, and my siblings died young. And so I was really on my own for the first time. And because Vin opened the door for me into that business, I decided to give it my all, and I dedicated my life to doing the right thing and helping a lot of people along the route that I took. And was successful. Got a lot of publicity, as you will see when you take a look at all the clippings. And I think it's only the reason I received that kind of publicity is because I conveyed the feeling that I had about doing whatever you do to the best of your ability, giving other people an opportunity to earn a living, to be happy in their lives. And really, that's, to me, what life is all about. Vin and I came from totally different backgrounds. He was a poor boy, left motherless at a young age. That's the tragedy of his life. And he's made a phenomenal success because he's a very brilliant man, and he applies himself to everything that he does with full heart, full soul, and belief that somebody's watching over him. And I think that that's what brought us together and why we were so successful as a team in professional sports.